How's it going again, guys? Um, so since I just started doing this, my thoughts were like when I first watched the episode, kind of do a first impressions, like spur of the moment. You just watched it, you have all that like adrenaline in your veins, you're pumping, it's going. And so like that's what that first video was, is like kind of an first impressions video. Um, I'm thinking like maybe a day or two after, like once I can like calm down and digest it and kind of think about it more in depth and more rationally. Uh, come back to it in a couple of days to have like a legit review. And now, like for this one, but I also want to like when an episode has such a big thing happen in it, like this one did, maybe make a separate video for that particular event, like the ending of this episode. But not every episode like is going to have one of those huge like what the fuck just happened moments. So this one did though, and so I want to kind of address that part more instead of like what I did before and just went through everything. I think that moment has warranted another discussion at least. um, so spoilers if you haven't seen it, this episode 2, watch it before you watch this. I'm going to talk about obviously what happened, so that's a spoiler for this episode. But then also I'm going to talk about like things I've seen in the trailers and like what I think it means based on like what's been happening. Pretty much for this video, not only is it Jon Snow coming back, but it's uh, like what does it mean for the North? Like what does this mean for the North? Like what's the current state uh, of the North? So regarding to what happened at Castle Black. So I'm going to use like trailer stuff that I saw that you see certain characters, certain places in the trailer, which kind of give hints as to what's going to happen. So first and foremost, Jon Snow is back. Pretty much what a lot of people expected. I was on the Melisandre resurrecting hype train. I thought that was always the most logical thing. Like I never got or really liked the whole him warging into Ghost theory. Like that'd be cool, I guess, but how would he do anything he needs to do against the White Walkers as Ghost? Like it wouldn't make any sense, and he would just eventually lose himself in Ghost anyway. So it's like I never really liked that theory. So she brought him back. So what does that mean? What happens now in the North at Castle Black with all these characters now that Jon Snow is resurrected? Um, First off the bat, it definitely means that he fulfilled his Night's Watch oath. He died. He did legitimately die. He was dead. Everybody said it. Everybody confirmed it, which means he no longer is held and bound by that oath. So what does that mean? That means he can literally go anywhere he wants and not be an oath breaker and not be executed and get his head cut off when he's found, somewhere south or whatever. Not that he'd go far south, but he can go anywhere. He can do whatever he wants. That means he can fight the White Walkers the way he sees fit, not being tied down to having to be in the Night's Watch and doing all that stuff. I don't see him being very revengeful against the Night's Watch. I think he's gonna come back, and I don't see him like like telling the wildlings like, oh, we should just kill them all. Like I see Jon Snow coming back being super pissed. I'd be super pissed. Like these motherfuckers just stabbed me multiple goddamn times. These crows ain't loyal. But I don't think he would. I don't think he would have them killed or anything. He's gonna realize. He knows. He's realized this for a long time. He's said it multiple times that they need every man they can get for the threat that is coming towards the wall from the north. The White Walkers, the others, the whites, they're coming. Get ready. In a store near you, coming soon. Hot, 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 but cold, cold, cold at the same time. Okay. So yeah, So if he's not bound by the Night's Watch, I think he's gonna have him stay there and be like, dude, just fucking, you want Castle Black, Alistair Thorne, you take Castle Black. I don't give a shit. I'm going to fucking Winterfell. I'm going to retake Winterfell, and I'm going to unite the North so we are ready for when the shit pops off. Because the way it is right now, the North ain't ready. The North is too busy about to erupt into a war right now with the Boltons. So I need to go get that shit straight. And that also entails like Sansa and Brienne coming up to Castle Black to meet with Jon Snow. I do think that they will get there at some point, probably pretty soon before Jon Snow like takes off to do whatever he's got to do. I see them coming together first. And from what I could tell in the trailer, like it seemed like Davos and Sansa were the ones that are kind of going around to each of the houses, like the houses in the north that are still pretty much loyal to the Starks, and there's a pretty decent amount. Boltons obviously have a handful of banners that are loyal to them. We saw in this episode that the Karstarks are definitely with the Boltons 100% after what Robb Stark did to Rickard Karstark, I think his name was, after beheading him. So they're all on board with the Boltons, and they said the Manderleys as well, but I have a feeling that the Manderleys aren't completely loyal with the Boltons, but that's a whole another thing. So yeah, I can see Jon Snow telling Sansa, like, hey, we need as many people as we can get. I see Jon Snow becoming the leader, realizing, like, I don't think he's going to become legitimized Jon Stark. I don't think he doesn't want that, I can bet. He's just like, no, that doesn't make any sense for me right now. We're going to use you, Sansa, as the, like, figurehead, the person that's going to rally people around the Starks again, like, make them see that, hey, the Starks are here. I mean, you have Jon Snow, he is technically a Stark, but then you have Sansa Stark, like, she is the Stark, like, so use her, have her go around with Davos to different houses that haven't committed themselves to the Boltons yet and have openly stated that they are with the Starks essentially still. In which, why I thought in the trailer it seemed pretty obvious that I think you could even see the sigil of House Mormont, which would make most sense because they're the ones that sent the letter to Stannis. Stannis was asking them for their support. And they're like, nah, we don't bend a knee to anybody but a Stark. Like, the Stark is the king of the North and nobody else. So I could see them sending her and Davos off to all those houses, including Mormont, to gather up some people. And then, well, Brienne's with her too. And in the trailer, you saw her down in the Riverlands. So my only guess is that maybe, now that Davos is there with Sansa, that he's capable of keeping her safe. Keeping Sansa safe. Brienne will then be free to go down and retouch with the Tullys, who are currently being besieged from the Lannisters down there. So maybe she can help out. It could come into play with her, Jaime coming up into the Riverlands and trying to break the siege there too. Maybe they can work something out with their past. I don't know how that's going to work out. That's going to be very, very interesting when they come together. Yeah. So they're going to rally as many people as they can, including the Riverlands, as probably if they can get that shit straightened out in the South. As far as like what Jon Snow would be doing, I'm assuming he would go around the houses as well. I can't see what else he would do. He's not going to hang out at Castle Black, that's for damn sure. He can't go back to Winterfell right now, so I mean, he may very well travel with one of those two as well. And Melisandre is kind of an unknown right now too. I personally thought that I knew or I figured that she was going to be the one to resurrect Jon, but at the same time, I kind of thought that she was going to end up sacrificing herself to do it. So the fact that she's still alive and it happened, like, I have no idea what she would be doing now, other than being shown through the flames. Like, yeah, this would probably revamp her love for the red god Raylor, and maybe because of that, she starts seeing more shit like in the flames. Seeing that Jon Snow is probably Azor Ahai, the actual Azor Ahai reborn, and kind of being by his side probably at all times now, like she was with Stannis, like bound by the hip, and kind of training him or teaching him how to become this legendary god that would destroy the others. That's because other than that, I don't know what else she would be doing. Like her story, I guess without, yeah, her story would be done otherwise, I think. But with that, it would make sense that she would still be around in order to help train him to become Azor Ahai. Who are the other characters? So the Boltons. Yeah, the Boltons are in a very, 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 very tough spot right now. Well, I can't say the Boltons. I mean the Bolton. That's the only thing that's left. The Bolton is in a tight spot right now. Ramsay is a fucking idiot, dude. How stupid can you be? As shitty as a person as Roose was like doing a fantastic job of getting what he wanted. Like he knew no bounds. He didn't care as long as like he was setting his fucking family up for success and doing it very well. I mean, shit was still going wrong a little bit, but I guarantee you he could have found a way somehow. Even if he couldn't, he would have done a shit ton better than Ramsay would have. And now Ramsay killed him, killed his fucking Walder Frey, and then his newborn half brother. Like Jesus Christ, Ramsay. He's gone. He's off the fucking deep end, and he knows it. He doesn't even fucking care at this point. Even the Karstarks is sitting there like, yeah, this is cool with me. Like clearly they talked about it before. Like this was coming. I think it would have been completely different if that Maester walked in during the meeting with Roose and told Roose that it's a girl. I don't think any of that shit would have happened. I'm pretty sure it's pretty obvious that he had talked to the Karstark dude, like, hey, this is my plan, bro. If he walks in there and tells us that it's a boy, I'm gutting him. If it's a girl, it's whatever. It's off. Like, I'll be the heir. That's all that. But the second it's a boy, fucking. And that was that. And now Ramsay, the fucking psychotic motherfucking Ramsay, is in charge of Winterfell. He is the Warden of the North, technically, with the entire kingdom about to come down on his ass. Like he doesn't realize that, or he does, and he doesn't care. I mean, I don't think he realizes because he wants. Even before he killed Roose, he's like, let's go attack Castle Black. Let's attack the Night's Watch. It like doesn't matter what your standing is before that. You attack like Castle Black, you attack the Night's Watch. Everybody's coming for your ass, dude. You would make no friends. The entire kingdom would be like, these motherfuckers have got to go. They've got to go. It makes no sense. And so he's bringing that mentality into now being the leader of the fucking Bolton army. And so, I mean, I just see, like I said, with everything else going on, everybody, all the other Starks and Stark loyalists now are going to be going around rounding up the last loyalist house with the Wildlings. The Wildlings are like Jon's startup army right now. I mean, they're not the best fighters, but there are a lot of them, and they are fucking scary. They are mean. They can do damage. So it's like a startup army, and then they're just going to tack on the other Stark loyalist house to eventually, what it looked like in the trailer, when Ramsay's out there on his horse looking over, and you can see the Wildlings clashing up against the Bolton shields and stuff. It definitely seems like it comes to a head at Winterfell at some point. Some people even thought you could see Jon Snow in the trailer. It's a very quick like flash with a dude with long hair flapping. So that definitely seems like the likelihood. The only thing I could think of that would like throw all that off, not throw it all off, but change it up a little bit, is if Rakan shows up at some point. I don't know if we would see Rakan at any point in this season. I think they might just keep him under wraps for like until season 7. But even if he does come back, it would just, the only thing that would be different, I think, is that Sansa wouldn't be that figurehead. It would probably go on to Rickon, since Rickon would be the legitimate next heir. Like, he would be the heir to Winterfell, being the male, even though Sansa's older. Or even if he did come back, it could still be Sansa, because they're like, she is older and everybody recognizes that as Sansa, and everybody loves Sansa, and they, I don't know, rally around her for some reason because she's the Queen of the North. That'd be so sick, dude. I just want, at least once, I just want to hear Sansa referred to as the Queen of the North at least once. That'd be sick. Have her be queen for a little bit, run Winterfell. Maybe she would until like Rickon grew up a little bit, even. But I don't even think he's gonna show up this season. I don't know. And if he did, it would be like very, very, very close to the end, if not the end of the season. Speaking of the end of the season, the very, 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 very end of the season, I'm guessing that's when we would see the White Walkers make it to the wall. I don't think they would make it past the wall this season. That'd be very, very abrupt, man. Unless that's how it's supposed to be. Like, because I think that battle wouldn't happen on until later. So they would have the battle at Winterfell, right? And then, like, the White Walkers would be crashing through the wall immediately after. That would suck, but that's the point. Shit in the show isn't fair. Life's not fair in this show. So I could see that happening, but at the same time, I feel like they're going to get like some chance to kind of wrangle shit together and have a little bit of time to prepare, like to prepare for the White Walkers. So we'll probably, because in the trailer you saw, you know, the White Walkers. You saw Bran seeing the Night's King, but that was like probably a flashback, one of his learning lessons. But I think there's one where you saw them, like a huge amount. And I think that's them coming up on the wall. So that might be how the season ends. Like, you see them at the wall, and you realize how fucked you really are. What time are we at? Okay, well, yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much my take on the current state of the North and how I think it would go. Jon Snow letting the Night's Watch stay where it is, having Alistair Thorne, as much as you hate him, keep the Night's Watch in check, have them train, get ready, they're coming. Like, keep an eye out. There's fucking White Walkers coming. Speaking of the White Walkers, I don't think we'd see them till like the later couple episodes, approaching the wall, you know, making their threat known. Hey, we're here. The shit's about to kick off. Which would suck, because then where's Dany, dude? Like, Dany's got to be showing up at some point. And if they're at the wall already, she's probably not. She's probably coming at the very fucking tail end, like season 8, when the White Walkers are already like pushing past Winterfell and stuff like that. Oh, dude. Yeah, so Sansa and Davos going around the north, trying to, you know, rally the Bannermen that are still loyal. Brienne going south to the Tullys to try and get the siege broken there. Maybe she can work something out with Jaime, since they're buddies. Being like, hey, bro, I need these guys to come north. So please stop attacking. That'd be sweet. I don't know how she'll do that, but she's going to be in the Riverlands, so I don't see any other reason why she would be down there, unless Sansa was already with Davos doing her thing, and then them sending her down south to do that. And Melisandre, like I said, probably she's an unknown to me, and Jon Snow actually is. It's like I don't know what they would be doing during this time. Obviously trying to do the same thing, I would assume, but probably together. Maybe do some fucking montage, some sweet 80s montage of him learning how to, I don't know, look in fire, or touch fire, or like have a fire sword. I don't fucking know. And the Boltons getting crushed by literally everybody in the fucking world. Everyone in the world is coming for you, you piece of shit, Ramsay. The wildlings, Jon Snow, Davos, the Vale's coming. Watch Brienne somehow get the Lannister army to come down there while she's down there. The Tullys, the Vale's coming with fucking Littlefinger for the crown. Fighting for the crown. Yeah, dude. Everybody's going to crush them. It's over. The Boltons, they sealed their fate a long time ago. They suck at playing the game. Game over. They might take somebody else down in the meantime. That would suck, but I don't. No, they're done. Anyway, so like I said, this is the video I wanted to dedicate on the North, specifically and where I thought they were going. Yeah. Since I just started this, I'm pretty new to this. I'm just doing this for fun right now. I'm just doing this to get feedback, comments, just so I can have a discussion with people. Normally I would do this with my girlfriend, but she's off in Australia right now, so I'm like, fuck it. I talked to her about doing it before. She said it was a good idea. I could talk people's ear off about Game of Thrones. I'm fucking so obsessed. So I'm like, well, she's gone. I'll try and do this and see if I can get some cool discussions going on and get some feedback, and then doing a video on it or something. But so that's my current plan. Like, watch the episode, immediately have like my emotions pour out like it was like everywhere. Pouring all out, all over you guys. And then maybe if the episode warrants it, like there's a big fucking thing happening, like Jon Snow coming back or something else happens, making another video addressing that, like talking more about that, so that gets more time. And then like how that affects the area that they're in and my predictions or thoughts of what might happen. And then like in a few days, maybe like a day or two, when I can actually like sit down and kind of breathe and kind of think thoughts, come back again and make an actual legitimate review. And then I could do like, talk about the other parts of the episode, like I just talked about this one particular part about Jon Snow and the North. But that's my plan. If you like it, that's cool. Leave a comment. I'll talk to you. I'm not big, so I'll talk to everybody I can. Everybody that comments, I would, any topic, I would probably reply and, go back and forth or whatever. That's all I want, man. That's all I want. I just want to talk to Game of Thrones fans. None of my fucking friends, besides my girlfriend, loves Game of Thrones. She painted that Targaryen. I was fucking sick. It was the coolest birthday present I ever got. But all my friends, they don't fucking watch the show. I don't know why. They're all in the fucking like video games and fantasy and shit, but like they don't read the books. They refuse to read the books and watch the show because they think it's so mainstream. So mainstream. I can't. Everybody's watching it, bro. I can't, man. Like, fuck off. Anyway, see you later.